Child, you want to talk about the first, like, alpha male?
There's a handsome guy in my house. Cancel that. It's only me.
What is up, warriors? Welcome back to my channel. Hi! This isn't going to be posted until the end of the week, so we'll see what the results are, but it's election night.
Oh, negative.
Needless to say, I need to reminisce times that weren't so shitty. So, we are here to do part 2 of ranking my childhood shows, and I'm not gonna hold you up any longer. Let's get into the video. Let's go! Cause I'm serious, man. Like I really need to decompress, and this feels like the perfect time to do that. Let's get into it. Okay, so something I didn't know that this site did was it saves everything that's already in there. So as you can see, all of the shows from part 1, if you haven't seen part 1, it'll be up here somewhere. You can go watch it. But let's review my tiers, shall we? At the bottom, we have never seen / do not remember. I feel like a lot of these are gonna go in there because my memory isn't the best after years. Okay, above that we have not a fan, meaning I have seen it, I know it, I don't like it. The one above that is it didn't suck. You know, like if it came on, I'd be like, oh, that's okay. But I wouldn't necessarily watch it again, not of my own volition. Above that we have wouldn't change the channel, meaning that I wouldn't turn to it on my own, but if I'm browsing and I see it, I'd watch it for a little bit. I'd sit, I'd watch it, I'd see what was going on, what the plot of the episode was. Above that, we have would rewatch today. These are series that I've either seen a lot of or I want to see more of. Like I really need to rewatch Steven Universe from the beginning because I haven't seen all of it. Would totally watch True Jackson VP, yeah. And at the very tippy top, we have all-time favorites. These are shows that have shaped and molded me, that are a part of my DNA now. So yeah, those are my tiers. Let's start where we left off at, what the hell what is that? Oh, my eyes are bad. Captain Jack and something or another, you know? Can you find it? Hopefully my editor can find it. I do not know Captain Jack. Sorry to you, baby. Up next we have Peppa Pig. Listen here, the amount of times people have used this show as a meme caused me to go check out a couple episodes of my own. And Peppa was a little cunty, dare I say. Like she had attitude and was hanging up on folks and all types of stuff going on.
Daddy, you're too big to go down the slide.
Peppa Pig definitely didn't suck. It did not suck whatsoever. The episodes that I saw of it, I definitely enjoyed. Up next we have 100 Things to Do Before High School. Sounds useful. Don't know it. You can go on down here, baby. Up next we have Every Which Way. I do not know that show, but I do know the spinoff, which is called Wits Academy, because my cousin Jazzy was in it and she played Kim. And that's the only reason why I watched that show. But I did not watch the original, so you can go on down here and pull. All right. Up next we have Dog with a Blog. Now listen to me. I watched one episode of that show and I was like, what are they sniffing? What was they sniffing over there? Coming up with a concept for this show. Not a fan. Not a fan. The humor wasn't really for me. It was just very cheesy.
I wish I never dumped my witch girlfriend by text back when I was a human.
Oh, period. We, Tuck, and Ming too.
We're Wonder Pets and we'll help you.
And they will. I loved Wonder Pets. I feel like Zion watched it, but I loved that show. So if it was on, I wouldn't change the channel. All the way up here, I would not change the channel. If Wonder Pets was on, I'd watch and see who they was saving because they're the Wonder Pets. Up next, we have Teen Titans Go. I remember when this dropped and everybody who watched the OG Teen Titans was like, why are they doing it? Like, why? The style of the show is completely different. The humor is completely different. It was very strange. They had a lot of strange plot lines. At one point, they were all like pregnant. It was weird. It was a little strange, and I'm not even gonna lie. At one point, they would have easily gone in not a fan, but I saw a couple of episodes that I didn't necessarily hate. So I'll go ahead and throw it, and it didn't suck. That's me being gracious. The humor hit every now and again. Every now and again it was for me, but not all the time. Up next, please. Dexter's Laboratory. that show shaped and molded me. We're gonna just go ahead and gotta travel all the way up here to the top. My God. All-time favorite, Dexter's Lab. That's easy. Dee Dee is an icon. The mama is an icon. Also, body yaddy yaddy.
I've got kind of a big ass.
Yeah, it was great. Dexter's Lab was a great show. I love watching it whenever I can catch it. I might watch it from the beginning. Shout out to Mandar. The villains in that show were also like very lovable, and I loved them a lot. Mandrake was that baby's name? Mandrake, Mandark? I haven't watched it in a while, but I loved Dexter's Lab when I was younger, so all-time fave. Up next we have Liv and Maddie. I know Liv and Maddie. That was Duff Cameron's show, I believe, in which she played twins. And listen, the range, girlie, the range. She played a regular, you know, high school teenager, and then the other sister was like a superstar doing Singing Loud. I remember that. I remember a little bit of that show. I didn't watch all of it, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it up here in It Didn't Suck, because it definitely didn't. Actually, if it was on, I'd watch it. If it was on, I'd watch it. I actually think Duff Cameron is a pretty decent actress. I loved her in all of the Descendant movies. I think she does an excellent job in the Disney universe. So if it was on, I wouldn't change the channel. I'd watch it a little bit. Up next, we have Sesame Street. I was a Barney child. I feel like we went over that the last time. I was not a Sesame Street child, but I loved all of the number songs. And if it was on, I wouldn't change the channel. I'd see what the children had going on. I can't comfortably put it in all-time favorite because I only liked certain aspects of the show. And I don't think that counts. I don't think that counts. I loved Oscar the Grouch. I loved Elmo and his pet rock.
Here's another pet rock for Zoe.
I loved when they had Patti LaBelle on there. That was iconic. I loved Cookie Monster. Is that the whole show? I'm gonna put it in Would Rewatch today, because I would, every time I see that Patti LaBelle clip, I watch it. So like, I feel like that counts. Would Rewatch today. Please ignore my child chomping down on his dinner in the background. He's just having such a good time. Okay, up next we have Fish Hooks. I feel like I saw this show in passing, but I never actually sat and watched it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it down here, because I don't even remember the characters' names. I do not remember. Up next we have Aaron Stone. Don't know that one either. Do not know that. What channel was it on? Was that a Disney XD show? I have no clue. I don't even know the premise of that. Up next we have Zeke and Luther. I remember this show. Who's texting me? It's you. It's my editor texting me. Did I like Zeke and Luther? I feel like I watched a couple episodes of it and the humor wasn't really for me. It was very bro dude, very like, oh, yeah, bro.
You dudes think you're pretty clever, don't you? Stop by my crib later. We'll talk.
I'm gonna skip it. I'm gonna say not a fan. Not a fan of Zeke and Luther. I do know, what's that boy's name? He was in Lemonade Mouth. That was his show. Up next is I Didn't Do It. Yeah, me neither. I don't know what you're talking about. Never seen that. Period. Next, Max and Ruby. Doo-doo-doo. Ruby and Max. Max and Ruby. I want to make that cake that's like half for Max, half for Ruby. If you know what I'm talking about, put a picture up. Half the cake is like chocolate and worms and shit, and the other half is like pink and sprinklies. I love it so much. I love that show. Max and Ruby, I wouldn't change the channel. I wouldn't. I would sit and watch a little bit of Max and Ruby and just see what they got going on, you know. Ruby was, I don't know if she was our best representation for big sisters and things, but she loved her brother for what it was worth, you know. Up next we have Yo Gabba Gabba. The way that I remember and do not remember this show is crazy. I couldn't tell you one song off that show. I gotta put it in don't remember, because I've seen it, but I don't remember it enough to judge it to put it anywhere else. The Fresh Beat Band. I know that one too, but I never watched it. I gotta change this bottom category to never seen / do not remember / never watched. Never seen and never watched. It's the same thing, Maya. Hello. I had a brain fart. I'm thinking about the election, if I'm being completely honest. Oh, Jesus in heaven. I hope everybody watching this that can voted for the coconut lady. Please tell me. Coconut. Please tell me in the comments that you voted for the coconut lady. It's gonna make me feel better after the fact when we post this video. Jesus in heaven. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna put this down at the bottom. I've never watched it. I know it though. Ni Hao Kai Lan! I remember Ni Hao Kai Lan! Oh my goodness. It didn't suck. Ni Hao Kai Lan didn't suck. I can't say I'd watch it again or not change the channel, but I remember it being oh so cute. I remember it being oh so cute, and it definitely did not suck. Up next we have, listen, a classic I will watch every day before school. Gotta get it up to the top. Arthur is an all-time fave. DW is also an icon. So many iconic little sisters in these TV shows. Arthur was great. Arthur himself got on my nerves just a little bit. But we stand Buster. We stand several of the girls on the shows. Its names are escaping me right now. We stand DW. So Arthur gotta go up there. Definitely. Up next, Blue's Clues. That was Zion's generation as well. I would have to change the channel. It's too much silence. You know, it's another one of those call and response shows. And I'm not a child anymore, so I can't just sit there and let you look at me and talk at me and stuff. But it's an excellent show and it's iconic. The way the show kept going and all the little seasonings had children, I was like, ah, that's so cute. I can't put it in my all-time favorites because when Steve left, it broke my heart. It's like, how dare you go to college?
I'm gonna miss you.
How dare you leave us like that and leave us with Joe in his green striped shirt? Bye. It wasn't even my generation and I was heartbroken. Child. But Blue's Clues is iconic. Up next we have Girl Meets World. This was Sabribri's show, right? This is a show Sabrina Carpenter was on. I haven't seen not one episode of this show. And the clips I have seen were very weird.
They want to see if I have autism. You don't. Let's go tell them you don't.
Because I think it was Sabrina's character or the other main girl who was trying to date somebody older. It was like a weird ass storyline people was talking about on the TL. But that's the only thing I know of that show. That's the only thing I know of that show. So I'm going to go ahead and put it down here at the bottom because I don't know. I do not know. Okay, up next we have Curious George. I did watch that show when I was younger and I didn't like it. I don't know why I didn't like it. Maybe I'm not fond of the color yellow. I don't know why I didn't like Curious George because so many people I knew enjoyed Curious George. And I feel like I liked the books more than the TV show. I was a very active reader. I've been since I was a child. And I read the books. And the books were cool, but the show didn't slap for me. Not for me. Up next, we have Chill Bro Cyber Chase. I remember Cyber Chase. That is also my generation. I watched that every morning before I went to elementary school. Like 2nd grade, bro. I gotta put it in. It didn't suck. I can't say I wouldn't change the channel. I can't say I would rewatch. Because I don't even remember the plot lines, bro. But I remember watching that show. It was like 3 shows would come on in a row. It'd be like Cyber Chase, Zoom, come on in, Zoom, come on in, Zoom. And then Dragon Tales. Like, I would watch all 3 of those. It would always be like those back to back. But it definitely didn't suck. I enjoyed it when I watched it. I just don't remember it that well. Okay, up next is, what is this? I can't even read that. I don't even know what that is. Child, I don't even know it. Super something? It's super something. I don't know. I'm sorry to these babies. I do not know you. Up next, we have Word Girl. Never heard of that. Never heard that. It's going to go down here as well. Casey Undercover. Okay. Admittedly, I have only seen 1 episode of Casey Undercover, and that's the pilot. Should I say why I watched the pilot? I watched the pilot because I was talking to somebody who was in the show, and he told me not to watch it, and curiosity killed the cat. So I went and watched it just because I wanted to see his character on the show. It didn't suck. It definitely didn't suck. I enjoyed the pilot. I enjoyed the premise, and anything with Dwayne in it from a different world. I was like, girl, your daddy is iconic in this show. My God, Kadeem Harrison. Yeah, and obviously Zendaya. I know the behind the scenes part. She demanded that she have a black family. She's like, I'm not doing this unless I have a black family. Her mama light skinned because she light skinned, but everybody in the household is black, and that was important for her. And I'm glad she put her foot down about that. Need more black families in Disney for sure. All right, up next, Pair of Kings. I remember this because Maya lore. I used to have a very big crush on, let me look up his name so I can make sure. Yeah, I only watched the show because of Mitchell Musso. When he was singing in the later seasons of Hannah Montana, I don't know why, I'm just attracted to talent. And he was eaten down a little bit, so I was like, okay, I just saw him in a different light than earlier seasons of Hannah Montana. I watched a little bit of Pair of Kings, you know, it didn't suck. It definitely did not suck. You know, I enjoyed the episodes that I saw, the episodes that I watched. Word World is the next one, and I've never heard of that. Sid, the Science Kid. I know that show, but I've never watched it. Put that down here as well. Up next, period, Maya Miguel. Not a fan. Not a fan, because when that show was on, I was also very young, and everybody was like, Maya Miguel. I was like, she not even black. Can y'all stop yes, my name is Maya. Stop saying that. Stop singing that little song to me. It was just annoying as hell. So, not a fan. The show could be great. Not a fan of its effect on my life. Okay, next, period. It's the Magic School. Yeah, Magic School Bus was iconic. Magic School Bus was iconic. I gotta scroll all the way to the top. All-time fave for Miss Frizzle alone. You feel me? For Miss Frizzle alone. I learned so much watching that show. Her fashion sense was impeccable. It was just great. It was just great all around. Okay, up next we have Martha Speaks. Is that a dog talking? I've never watched that a day in my life. That's gonna go down here. Up next is Kicking It. The way my sister made me sit down and watch seasons of that show because she was convinced that it was excellent, and it was. So I'm gonna go ahead and move it up. You didn't think I was gonna go there, did you? I wouldn't change the channel if it was on. I wouldn't necessarily go looking for it, but it was a good show for what it was, and I laughed a lot. I enjoyed myself watching Kicking It. Kicking It was cool. The next show is Best Friends Whenever. I've never heard of that. Never heard of it, never watched it. Up next is Dinosaur Train. Don't know it, never heard of it. Next, Johnny Bravo. Child, you want to talk about the first, like, alpha male?
Hello, 911 emergency. There's a handsome guy in my house. Cancel that. It's only me.
He was on 12 all of the time, and he low-key irritated me. Because, sir, why are you so cocky and think that everybody wants you? I used to watch Johnny Bravo, but I didn't necessarily... Johnny Bravo might have been the first show that I hate watched. His character irked me. His character got on my goddamn nerves, but I watched episodes, many episodes of that show, just to see if somebody was gonna hurt his feelings. Did not enjoy Johnny Bravo. Cow and Chicken was another show that I feel like I hate watch. It just wasn't good. They had a very weird relationship, Cow and Chicken. Cow and Chicken is like another show that might show up down here later. We'll see. If it does, I'll tell you. But it had some sexual elements to it that I remember as an adult now, and I'm like, it was Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy is the one that I'm thinking of. It gave me the same energy as that show, and I didn't like it then. I just didn't know why I didn't like it. And now as an adult, I'm like, it's because they was on some weird stuff going on. He was always doing some weird, Cow, baby girl, always doing some weird stuff with her udders.
This is worse.
I didn't enjoy that. The next one is Team Umi Zumi? No, I've never heard of that. Don't know that. Up next, period, Teen Titans, iconic. Going to the top. Teen Titans! When I was younger and I wasn't allowed to dress up for Halloween, I wanted to be Raven so bad. I just wanted to be her, like in actuality. I wanted her powers. Raven's entire energy was just very, very melancholy and very much like, okay, so what are we doing? And that was me. And that was me down. Love her. Love that show. Oh my God. My life is a teenage robot. is one of my all-time favorites. Let me bring it to the top. I loved that show. I watched it a lot. I feel like I watched every episode. I might have missed a couple, but I watched it every time it was on. I totally rewatch it. I just really liked that show. I liked the animation for that show. I just thought it was super cute, and I was obsessed with it for a long time. Up next, Fairly Odd Parents. Another all-time fave. Another favorite. Iconic theme song, iconic characters. It got a little weird, and I stopped. Actually, I'm just gonna put it in would rewatch. I can't call it all-time favorite because I didn't love all seasons of that. When Poof was born, it went downhill from there. I stopped watching. I stopped watching when Cosmo gave birth. I was like, work, but also, do we need a baby? Like, this, it's me, all anti-kids. Did we need Poof? Did we need the baby? It's fine. But the earlier seasons of Fairy Godparents and the movies, really good. Really, really good. Up next is Bubble Guppies. I know that show, but I've never watched it. Up next is Bunked. I know that show. That's a spin-off of Jessie. Not a fan. You can go up there with your predecessor. Jessie and Bunked over there. I did not like that show. I didn't like Jessie. I didn't like the spin-offs. Maybe I just didn't like the acting style of the characters. I couldn't latch on to anybody's acting, bro. Not in the original, not in the reboot. I watched a couple of episodes of Bunked and I was like, all right, I'm good. No shade. Sky Jackson was not the best actress. None of them were, but like Sky's the only one that's like heavy in my mind right now. She just wasn't. She was super cute on Jessie and I liked her little moments. This is my playhouse and you're just living in it. Cute, 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 cute. But as they got older, the lack of acting got a little bit more apparent. And I like Sky. I watched the first couple episodes of Bunked because of Sky. But even she couldn't keep me. I didn't really enjoy it. Yeah. Up next is Lab Rats. I know that show, but I've never watched it. I've never watched that. Never watched Lab Rats. Next is that Lab Rats Elite Force? It's somebody's Elite Force, child. I've never seen it. It's gonna go down here. Next, the Beyonce of Disney, Raven Simone, because that's how you say her name. That's so Raven, is the future I can see. That show molded my humor a little bit. That show molded me a lot. Like Raven's character a lot, especially because she was considered plus size back in the day, even though she wasn't for real. And people would try to insult me and say, okay, Raven. And I'd be like, okay, and she's an icon. You're an idiot. And you can call me Raven every day of the week. Like, Raven was that girl, the musical episode. I nobody's gonna change me. Her on top of the table dancing like mama, triple threat, sing, dance, act, comedian. Raven's physical humor is probably some of the best ever in the industry out of everybody that I've seen. The way that girl be falling and just all the things she does with her body physically, hilarious. She's a phenomenal actress now and forevermore. Forever. Another favorite, another show that molded me, Lizzie McGuire. Lizzie McGuire. Okay, so this is what I would do, right? Lizzie would come on right after Raven. It would be like Raven, Lizzie McGuire, Kim Possible, like in a row, back when Disney was good and every show was good. You just sit there for hours and watch it. So the fact that they're back to back like this is kismet. Like I'm so happy about that. I loved Lizzie McGuire. David Gordon was another one of my first white boy crushes. He was just adorable. So cute, so adorable. And obviously the Lizzie McGuire movie is iconic. If you haven't seen it, what you doing? Go watch it. Get your life. This is what dreams are made of. Hey now, this is what dreams are made of. It's so good. Like Lizzie was so good. And everybody was like, we need another movie. I'm like, no, we don't. Leave it where it was. Just leave it where it was. The Lizzie McGuire movie was perfect. The series was perfect. Would I love to have Miranda in the movie? Absolutely. Still don't know why Miranda wasn't in the movie. If you know why, put it in the comments. I feel like that's like very old tea, but I want to know why she wasn't in the movie. I was looking for her. Made me sad, but the movie was excellent. The show was excellent. Everything Lizzie. Everything Hilary Duff during that time was like gold. So yesterday. She was another one of my little white pop girls that I went up for. Love Lizzie. Love Hilary Duff. Up next we have, they did a School of Rock show? How did I miss that? I've never seen that, but I love School of Rock the movie. Iconic. Up next, another show that molded me. Let me tell you something about Angelica Pickles. Angelica Pickles was the worst person for me to see as a child when my siblings were first born. It's an all-time favorite, but the way that she used to be dragging them kids, I was too trying to drag my siblings, but I just didn't have the heart in me to do it. I tried to be really mean, and it just wouldn't work. We'd end up playing. Her being like, dumb babies. I was 7 when my brother was first born, and I remember the first time I called him a dumb baby, and everybody looked at me, and I was just like, Angelica said it. Like, what you mean? I was very ashamed of myself, so it went away quickly. I wasn't mean to them anymore. But Rugrats in Paris, bitch. Rugrats in Paris is one of the best movies ever created. One of the most heartbreaking movies ever created. If you know Chucky's storyline, you know. I cry every time I watch that movie, even as an adult. Tears, actual tears. It's just so beautiful. I love that movie. I love Rugrats. I love Rugrats All Grown Up as well. If you know about that spinoff, that is one spinoff that I think did very, very, very well. Loved All Grown Up. Love Rugrats. Up next we have Blaze. Don't know ya, sorry. Up next we have one of the only shows from the 90s that's still running, still creating episodes. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob SquarePants. Absorbent and yellow and porous is he. The SpongeBob SquarePants movie I can quote front to back to front. It's bad. It's bad for me. I went to go see it in theaters. I don't know where it went bad. But I haven't not seen any of like these newer seasons, but from what I've heard, it's just going all downhill.
This letter's just not gonna open.
But the older seasons of SpongeBob, unmatched humor, unmatched. And now that we're adults, I completely understand Squidward, and I apologize for every time I misspoke, because damn, they was annoying. All he wanted to do was sit in his house and take baths and relax and play his clarinet and mind his business. SpongeBob and Patrick always was on some shit. They just were. They would have got on my nerves as well. So yeah, the dynamics watching it as an adult is completely different, but it's still very, very hilarious. Love SpongeBob. Okay, up next is Pocoyo. Never seen it. Don't even know what it is. Next is the Peter Rabbit Show. Do not know it. Up next is La La Loopsy. Never seen it. Next, I know this is Sonic. But I've never seen the show. Up next is Braceface. I remember Braceface. It didn't suck, but I don't remember anything about it except it wasn't bad. If it was bad, I would have remembered. But I remember watching a couple episodes of the show, and the show wasn't bad. Up next is The Weekenders. This show I remember, and I just wasn't a fan. I don't even remember why I wasn't a fan, but whenever that show was on and people wanted to watch it, I'd be like, why? Like, let's watch something else. No shade to The Weekenders, though. No shade. Up next is Olivia the Pig. I know she's iconic, but I've never seen their show. Never seen that. Next is Fetch. That dog was out of his mind. Don't know it. Do not know it. Next is Ben 10. My brothers were obsessed with Ben 10. They had trading cards. They had everything. And it didn't suck. I watched a couple episodes of Ben 10 and it wasn't bad. Up next is Jonas. I watched that show purely for Nick. It didn't suck. It couldn't suck because Nick was in it. Call me biased all you want. I don't give a damn. And I love the music. I love the music as well. Up next is Corey in the House. His little band with Mina and that other boy, it didn't suck. Corey in the House didn't suck. it was nowhere near as bad as some spinoffs that I've seen. And Madison Pettis was iconic in it as well. Up next is Mia and Me. Next is Tickety Taco. No sir. Next is Kung Fu Panda had a show. Kung Fu Panda Legends of Awesomeness. I've never seen that a day in my life. I didn't even know they did a show. Next is Henry Huggle Monster. What the hell? Henry Huggy Monster. I don't like hugs from people I don't know, boo. Sorry. Upside Down Show. I feel like I've heard of this show, but I definitely didn't watch it. I definitely didn't watch any of it. So we can go on over here. Up next, baby, Oobi.
Ooby, you friends.
That's a deep cut. Who remembers Noggin? Noggin is all Zion watched like when she was younger. So we watched everything that came on Noggin. Oobi was quite literally just a hand with some googly eyes on top. And we loved that show. And I'm gonna put it in It Did Not Suck, because it didn't, and I liked Oobi. And when he'd eat stuff, it'd be funny, because it's literally just a hand, and he's just like, I don't know, Oobi was cute. I liked Oobi. Oh my gosh, that is such a deep cut. Next is Clifford the Big Red Dog. I loved this show. That was another show that came on when I was in elementary school in the morning. It was like in the same lineup with Cyber Chase and everything. So Clifford definitely did not suck. I enjoyed it. Shout out to little baby Elizabeth. You know, she did what she could with a huge dog. And I have a little one. And he's a lot of work. So I just got to give her 10s. Got to do it. Up next is Puffy Amayumi. I don't know this show, but the animation looks super cute. Up next is an iconic show that I will get dragged if I don't place properly. Codename Kids Next Door. I would rewatch this only cause I don't remember that much of it. Actually, I changed my mind. I wouldn't change the channel. I necessarily wouldn't go back looking for it, but if it was on, I'd watch it and see what was going on. Cause I just remember it being iconic and everybody like dressing like the different number kids and like all of that. And their technology was ahead of its time. And I liked the computer game. I definitely remember playing the computer game more than I remember the show. But I wouldn't change the channel. I will watch a couple episodes or whatever. Period. Johnny Test. Johnny Test. This is the life of a boy named Johnny Test. All of that just for me to put it in It Didn't Suck. Cause it didn't, bro. I enjoyed Johnny Test. He was a mess. Again, iconic sisters. I can't say I would watch it if it was on, but it was definitely entertaining. I love Johnny Test. Oh my gosh. My Little Pony is an all-time favorite of mine. I watched every season of that show with my sister, and as an adult, I watched it. And I will watch it again and again and again and again. There are many, many more shows left. So we're gonna have to do part 3. Oh, I know you love it. I know. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what your favorite shows are that we ranked today and where you would rank them. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm right. Okay, I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!